Hello, welcome back. I have been doing my junk journaling and I thought I would do a page with you because I got some really cool new stuff, and the reason I haven't been doing it is because my process is so long and I tend to just get lost in doing this, so I didn't want to bore people with what I was doing. My husband said, you've made 7 of these, you have to share this with the world. Let me move my die cuts out of the way because that is a brand new thing for me. Anyway, I decided that I would work on a page with y'all, see if you like it, and hopefully you can see it because I just got my camera back. It was broken. Okay, so what I was saying before my phone rang is that my camera broke. It was overheating, and so I didn't really get to do anything that I wanted to show y'all, but I did make a bunch of different junk journals. This one is for a friend, and so we're going to do this page, but let me just give you an overview of what I've been doing with this book so far. I actually put this material on the junk journal. I glued it on and I added this book plate, which I'm going to put a word in there. It's going to say like love or hello or something, and I will add some grommets and ties at some point because I just got a little grommet eyelet pusher, so I don't know what you call that. A crocodile, that's what you call it. I finally got one. So it's really pretty, it's sunshiny, it's a happy book. I'll probably add some little things so that it makes it a little more interesting and a little more fun. Actually, see, my process is that I never know what I'm going to do, but I cut this tag out of this really pretty paper and I'm just enjoying the look of the tag. I folded the paper over, I put it through my Sizzix, and when you open it, it's this big long belt tag looking thing, and I just think that's so pretty. And I gotta remember to put y'all in the frame because I'm not looking at my camera all the time. So if I get out of frame, I apologize. I will try to mind my P's and Q's and L's. Okay. So opening it, I've got all kinds of beautiful Paper Studio paper in here from Hobby Lobby, and some washi tape covering the brads. I apologize. My neighbor has the loudest motorcycle on the planet and he likes to rev it up. So if you hear him, it just is what it is. I can't get rid of him. He's a nice guy, but his motorcycle's extremely loud. Anyway, washi tape from Amazon. I just looked up vintage washi tape, Victorian washi tape, and these are the kind of things that come out, and I'll show you this roll. It's really, really pretty, but it came with several different rolls, different colors. Just really pretty, fun washi tapes. Let me show you this other one. Isn't that fun? Oh my gosh. So you can washi tape stuff up and put it on there and it'll look like words that you've put on old vintage paper. So very pretty. I love it. There was a lot of them. Got several different kinds. So washi tape is just like a thin paper tape that has ink dye on it. Waiting for Frankie. Thank you, sir. Okay. I added a pocket with my Paper Studio paper. I have a writing spot there. Just some really dreamy paper from the Paper Studio that I just folded over. And this butterfly that most everything I got, guys, if it's new, I got it from Hobby Lobby for the most part. So if that's different, I'll let you know. But these, they come in a pack from Hobby Lobby. And I absolutely love butterflies. My father passed away several years ago. And whenever I sit outside in the springtime and I think about him, there's always a butterfly that floats around. And I just feel like maybe he sends me little butterflies to say hello. Just a little sweet thing, you know, and it may not be true, but it makes me feel good, and that's something that I always am attracted to, is the butterflies. So probably see quite a few of those in my junk journals. Added a sticker. All this is Paper Studio. Now, a lot of my stuff I get from the Paper Studio at Hobby Lobby, because it's always 50% off. I mean, you know, whenever you're going from $19 to down to $9, it's really nice. So 20 to 10, you can't beat it. So I always stock up on the big books of paper. This one is just a little booklet that I made to give this person another place to write in. And I just punched a hole, folded over this paper. It was already like this. It already had this picture on it. So I just folded over some plain paper and stapled it right there, and then put a piece of that really pretty washi on there just to cover the staple. Otherwise, it's just a little book for her to write in. And I have some torn just packaging paper, craft paper, some brown craft paper, and a tag that I did with my Sizzix, and I cut the heart out with my Sizzix as well. And that is just this machine right here. So I'll have to do a little thing over that, little video over that, because that has been the most fun little, it's a die cut machine. It's been so much fun for me though. Alright. I've learned how to make envelopes. They're not exactly straight all the time, but I figure the unicorns give it that dreamy, magical, fun effect, and she can store some little buttons or pins in here, and plenty of places for her to write. Another tag. It's just a vintage tag that came with, I believe, my Tim Holtz vintage ephemera. I do order stuff off of eBay. If you look up vintage ephemera, junk journal, words like that, there's all kinds of stuff you can order. Lots of it, like big paper packs of things that you can get from other people. And this is just, let me show you a sample here of some of the ephemera that you can get from other people. They're selling for like $4, $24, things like that. So just little ephemera, just little vintage ephemera that you can get from other people that have gone above and beyond to give to other people, sell things. I'll give you another example here of the really cool ephemera that you can get. So you can cut stuff out, you can use this as paper. Then also I looked up stamps, because I really like I love stamps. Always have, even as a little girl. And I found a lot of them for like $10. I went ahead and bought these tons and tons of stamps. I believe he said 200, and I think I had gotten another lot from somebody for like $2. So yeah, you can look up stamps and get stamps to do all of your junk journal with. And you know, once I build up what I have, I'm probably not going to buy anything for a while. And I took out some really good ephemera. Let me grab that, y'all. This stuff is amazing, and I didn't want it to get smashed in anything. But I got stuff like this from this last lot, and I was just blown away by how beautiful everything was in this little lot here. One of my favorites. Isn't she beautiful? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan this and put it in my computer and just print it out when I need it. But I don't want it to get ruined in my regular scrapbooking boxes. That even though I take care of everything, everything's in boxes, I want to make sure that these are really, really taken care of. So I made a little wax paper folder, and I've got everything paper clipped there, and I will scan that into my computer later, and it's just some really, really pretty things. So, all that being said, I did make a tag with my Sizzix, and I wrote love on it. There's stamps there. You could cover this whole thing with stamps with the lot that I got. So, you know, you want to have fun with it. And that's that page. I also made a tag. I bought a lot of keys. When I say a lot, I mean like a key bundle. I guess that would be the thing. That's another thing I love is keys. I have little key things all over the house. I had them outside covering one of my walls outside, but when we painted, we took all that down. Anyway, I love keys. I love hearts, butterflies. Those are some of my favorite things. Really a lot of theme going on there, but this came the other day from eBay as well. So you can look up key lot, or lot of keys. There's even this little bent one, which is so cute. Just really a nice big pot of keys. There you go. I made a tag out of a book page, just folded it over. I edged the edges with the brown ink pad. I believe that it's just pigment ink. The Stampables pigment ink that you can get for like $4. And it's acid free, which means that it's not going to cause breakdown of your paper. That's a big deal. Alright, so I drew on it. You know, I was doodling while I was talking to somebody on the phone, and I put a key there, a little small key. You can barely see it, but it's just a really cute key. But that, I actually think this needs something, but I don't know exactly what. So, see, this is how my process is that I will start looking and figuring out what I want to do. So I'll probably add some ribbon to that and make it really pretty. Okay, just some regular papers that were in my signature that I'd like to cover that, so I'll probably cover that with something at some point. Look, these papers come like this, and they're just a really odd shape. They're more of a square book. I don't have one in front of me, or I'd show you, but they're like this size here. So they're kind of an odd shape. but you can do a lot with them. Cut out, make tags, use this part to make the tags. But this one looks like ledger paper. The whole pad kind of has that look to it. And this one has more of the pinks and the foil golds, blacks, stuff like that. So this I just put in this musical pocket that I tore and added glue just to the outside. Added that so she could write in here. And that tucks in there. And unintentionally, those colors really kind of go together. It kind of all blends and makes it look kind of 80s-ish. You remember the peach 80s colors? Yeah, we were really into those peaches and green muted tones. Yeah, neons. There is a pocket here, and let me just show you. So it's a tuck spot here and a tuck spot here. So she can just tuck little letters in there if she likes and write on this. She does like to write a lot, so I want to leave her plenty of blank spaces for that, but I also want to decorate it. You'll have a bruise on my hand, and I don't know what I did, but oh, I think the dog got away and the hard part of the leash hit me. It bonked me. She got away because she wanted to run to the front door. Anyway, yeah, we both had a little running session last night or yesterday. She got excited, and you know, being that she's over 100, she rarely gets that excited. So it's fun to watch. I love this paper by the Paper Studio. All these beautiful vintage looking papers. So to hide the space between the signatures, because it was so big, I went ahead and added some papers to it. This is just a book page that I had gotten that was just from probably a lot, a paper lot that I got. And I will do some, add some ink to that so that it looks a little more vintage. Got the dreamy paper. Look, my paper cutter did not cut everything straight, but it will. It's my ode to being imperfect, right? Got some washi tape between them so it holds them in place. These are some of those washi tapes. And that'll just hold them in place so I don't really have to sew them in or tape them. Then on this one, I went ahead and put a piece of lace fabric there. One of the Sizzix die cuts. I cut the butterfly out. I used that later, but I like the way it looked on the heart paper. Remember, I like hearts and butterflies. So this to me is a really nice page to have in here, and I glued that in. It's a little tuck spot, so you can tuck in stuff and it won't get away from you. I'll show you. You can just tuck in little letters and things like that, and then you got that little peep window from the butterfly. Alright. And my magical unicorn page that I like it. I wish it wasn't so dark, but I do like the foils, so it's really pretty and it's different. More vintage pages. Now this I cut out with my Sizzix, and I thought that was really pretty, but not thinking about it, I glued this bottom piece down, so it's just going to be a little ladder holder, and it will hold tags. Now I did this with my Sizzix, and I embossed it. I'm not sure if the camera will pick that up, but there we go. It's embossed from the Sizzix as well. And I've got 2 tags there. So I will just tuck one in the little ladder holder there. And there we go. So she's got a little place to write. I love little tags. They'll be all over the place in here. Vintage paper. This vintage bag that was actually from my father-in-law's medication. They use these really cute vintage bags. So, yeah. It ripped. I'm trying to figure out where that staple's coming from. I think the staple, whenever they stapled the bag for the medications, caused some ripping, and oh, nice little staple to poke yourself with. Okay, so staple's out. We're safe. Anyway, it ripped, so I reinforced it with some tears of paper that I had, and then I decided I didn't like that, so I added this craft paper over it, and then this beautiful key, so she's got a little place to put stuff in, and there's the key. Then this just little book page that I added. This is, if you can see it, this is just a clear pocket where she can tuck some things, but I wanted to add some ephemera to it. So some little paper flowers, lace, stamps, and made that just a little bit different. And I'll probably go over this with something just to kind of cover it all up. See how cute that is? I'll probably do that. Alright, more stuff. Another tag. I did make this paper clip with this button on it. These buttons come from Walmart for like $4. Not the best thing because it's got that pokey thing and it doesn't want to stay on my paper clip, but I'm determined that it's going to stay on my paper clip because, you know, I like the way that looks. It's holding this beautiful tag that's got another piece of paper over it, and it's just a little writing spot. So I thought that was really pretty, and it breaks up the page, but she can write on it. Alright, more paper. And I got a cupcake liner, brown cupcake liner, put it on there. Put this flower seed packet that I had gotten in my ephemera lot, and added the grommet and this little holder. I'm not sure what you call these. They're like little safety pins with a bulb shaped end, and added some lace. So this is a pocket. If I can get it up. I may have sealed that sucker. Looks like I did. Oh, bummer. Well, I will fix that in a little while. I'm going to kind of ease it up. But this is going to be a pocket, and I just kind of wanted to leave it like that. She loves flowers. The only thing about the seed packet is they opened it upside down. So the flowers are upside down. But here nor there, right? Perfectly imperfect. The other half of that book page. And the other half of that bag, when I sewed my signatures in, I put the bag lengthwise. I cut the end off of this side, and boom, you got two really pretty bags. More paper, the neon green from the 80s. So there you go, a little theme going with that 80s color, huh? Alright, I made a little tuck spot with the Paper Studio paper, and I made some tags. This is another book page. I added some washi tape and the brown ink pad to kind of ink it up. Drew on it a little bit, and then added this lace. You punch a hole and just add this lace. And very simple tag and bookmark. You can use it for, you know, your books. I mean, back in the day, kids, whenever we had books to read, we used bookmarks. Very cool concept. I'm sure that now, you know, your iPad will hold your place in your book. Actually, you got Audible, somebody will read it to you. And I can't knock that because I have Audible and I love it. Especially since we travel. You know, I can just throw on a book and listen to it and zone out. Another piece of my ephemera. I added a grommet to this Tim Holtz ephemera lot that I got way back, and a piece of twine, really thick twine. I thought these went together really well. Put them in the little tuck spot there. So she has that. This page, let's see, it's got colors on it. There's a reason for that. I got some really neat alcohol inks and I wanted to try them out. So I sprayed this side of the paper. I stamped this heart first, and not very well because there's so much stuff in here that whenever I went to stamp it, I didn't put a board or anything. I just stamped it as is. So you got some little imperfect places, but she can journal on this as well. I wanted to try out the alcohol sprays, so I did, and hence you've got like the little squigglies and different things. I wanted to just see what it would do if I sprayed them on there. So I love the effect that the alcohol dyes make, and I will be getting more of those because they're really cool. Alright, then I did a stamp on the bottom of this. Again, very imperfect. Not going for perfection with this, but I think it's really cool to have those little imperfect places. And let's see if you can see that. So when I say imperfect, these little flowers didn't come out all the way, but I just think it adds to the charm. And I think I will ink that up too with my little brayer and just make it look even older and more fantastical. Just to make it look a little older, a little more vintage. And you could add the washi to it as well and make it look even older and more vintage. So it's just a little glassine bag and more places to tuck things. Alright, this is the page that's giving me the problems. First of all, there is a tuck spot with a tag, and I wanted to do something different, so I cut a circle, I added some washi tape and some red and brown dye to it. It's the circle stamp was kind of left on there, and I added a piece of twine and I just put it. Oh, good. Alright, my camera's going to shut off on me periodically, so I'm going to try to do this before it shuts off. This page gave me a lot of problems. It gave me a lot of problems, I'm sorry, because this paper on here is very old. It's very vintage. I got it from an antique store, and I thought, oh, it's really cool. I'll just Mod Podge on there, and it stuck together even after it dried. It's still very tacky, very sticky. So I think I'm going to have to cover it with like a varnish, but I added some pattern pages on there, torn up, some more Mod Podge, and then I sprayed the alcohol inks on there, which gave it kind of a dreamy effect. I added this lace on here to cover up some of the sins of the paper that was torn. I Mod Podged the lace down as well, so it's not going anywhere, but to keep these from sticking together until I can get some coverage, wax paper is my best friend. Die cut butterflies, die cut tags, some ephemera from my lot. I rubbed some Inca Gold on here on a doily and put it on there, and it gave it kind of a cool effect, a collage effect, and I'm not sure that the camera's even doing it justice, so I'll bring it up so you can see. The Inca Gold that I rubbed on there is really pretty, and all of these different effects. I just put a lot of scrap stuff on there just to kind of give it that collage look. I thought that was really nice. So I will be finishing that. And I did stamp, and the camera may not pick that up either, but I did stamp some gold leaves on here. And then I sprayed with that gold alcohol ink, so it kind of blended it all in. It's really pretty. All right. Now let's go back out just a tad. More paper. And now we're going to get, let me see, there's not really too much more in here. Got the doily in the middle, book page. Got the, I got this paper years ago. I don't know where I got it from, but I like it. I crumpled up a piece of this cardstock and then added some brown, I just took the stamp pad and just rubbed it over those creases, and it kind of gave it a cool 3D effect. And that's all I did with that. This is just a magazine page paper that I added in there to have something different. And just some more vintage. Alright, so this is the page I'm going to work on, and hopefully I can do it without my camera shutting down on me, guys. I don't know what that's about. Now, I do have an old book down here, so it protects my table from glue and the whatnots. I am going to be using, this is the coolest glue. It's Advanced Craft Glue by Beacon. It's 3-in-1. I got it at Michael's. It's acid-free, waterproof, and it dries pretty fast, so I'm not complaining, and it's clear. So, what's really cool is that it's got that stringy effect like a hot glue gun, but in the cool glue. So, it does say that it's bad for your skin and your eyes, so I may lose skin. I've got that alcohol ink on me, so pardon me, but I may lose skin in the process. Who knows? So, and it's got a cool twist top, which, yeah, this is very easy to undo. This glue's not bad to use, so I like it. I've got this paper pack it's from the Paper Studio, so it was half off of $2.49, and I got it because it had everything already on it, and I just love that look. So I'm going to open it for y'all and use some of the stuff that's in this paper pack. So, excuse the noise. Just take it all out. I mean, for $1 and some change, you really can't beat the fact that all this is already on there for you. I guess they already did everything. I thought I could use it. This is already done. Okay, so I guess I am not using this stuff, but I really wanted that clock. I wonder if I could get it off. Haha. See, the rest of it I can do without, but I wanted that clock. So I'm going to take this tag, and I was going to fold it up and then just have it where it came down and she could write on it. But I got the wise idea to put it across the paper, and I thought that looked really neat, like a little binder belt. I think that's very pretty, and that is what I'm going to do with it. So, if you see things flying in the background, that's because I'm sitting around a bazillion boxes of stuff. I have everything everywhere, but I wanted to get a little corner of the world for y'all so that I could scrapbook with you. Okay. Y'all, I'm so hoping that my camera doesn't shut off. I've had the worst time with this camera. It's a Sony, and it keeps having problems, and it just came back from the shop, and now I've got to wait and let them put it back in the shop. I'm putting a generous amount of glue. I don't want it to go anywhere, especially right in the middle there. So I'm going to have to put it back in the shop and wait for them to decide that it's broken enough that they'll give me a new one. Luckily it's under warranty, so I'm going to use my bone folder just to really get in that crevice there so that it does stay, because I feel like it's going to peel up otherwise. Alright, I love the look of that, and it feels like leather. This paper is a little bit more on the expensive side per piece, so you know, you only get a piece at a time. But I think it adds so much interest. You put it through your Sizzix and make you a tag or butterflies or whatever you want, and it really does just add interest to the whole piece. Alright, so I really like this clock and this butterfly. I like for my butterflies to have a little pop, so I think I'm going to lay it like so. Oh, I love that. That is really very cool. Now, to keep my butterfly kind of popping like that, and also because I really like the look of this clock, I think I'm going to do it at there we go. Alright, time's really important because when I add it, there's going to be a reason for just about everything in this book. So I'm going to take this glue dot, y'all, and I'm going to tear it in half. And I'm just going to add half to the middle of the butterfly. If I can get it off my finger. Probably should have done this first. I'll do the other half of the glue dot, I will put on here. And then I will add that butterfly right there. That way his wings can kind of be fluid. I think that's really, really pretty. How easy was that? Now we could be done and we wouldn't have to put another thing on here. But I'm extra, so I like to play around, and like I said, my process is usually I'll pull a few pieces and then I'll have to think about it. You know, do I really want that to have that? Do I really, you know, I am digging the way that this tape stuff looks. This whole page is already done for me, but I'm going to be, since it was only $1 or something, I'm going to go ahead and just pull these pieces off and use them. In different areas so that they kind of have that dreamy, let's say, clockwork look. Now see, I don't want to do too much because it'll start looking cluttered. It will. But I really just love all of that. I think I will do that right there, and I think that will be done. So there's something to be said for tearing apart your stuff, right? Yeah, I like to just get in here and zone out, and I mean truly just turn off my phone, get really zen, put on the Idaho Blue essential oil, blue spruce. The Idaho, I think it's Idaho Blue Spruce essential oil, which is kind of like a spiritual, chill you out, be one with what you're doing kind of essential oil, and it smells wonderful. So I'll put that on. I will just grab me a bubbly water from Vintage. This is some really, really good seltzer water. I know not everybody likes seltzer water, but I do. I don't drink soda, and not because I'm a fanatic, but because I just don't really care for the taste of soda. I mean, I'll drink it if there's nothing else. Yeah, but I mean, it's just not my favorite. I'd rather have a Perrier. You know, it doesn't leave a bad taste in your mouth, and I don't know. It's just my preference. All right. So I am not digging the way that came out. So I'm going to cut that when I find my scissors. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm not digging the fabric being there we go. Now, because like I said, I am extra, I'll probably use those little pieces. Now, I for sure will use those little pieces just to add pizzazz to the page. So never throw away your little pieces. I'm telling you, you might use them, you know. See that? I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there is a string of glue because that stuff is very stringy. So it reminds me of hot glue, but without the heat. Oh, yesterday I saw the coolest thing. They have hot glue fingers. I should have glue fingers that, you know, I started buying, but they were like $5, and I was like, oh, I could spend $5 on literally anything else. So I bought the alcohol inks instead. Alright, so we're just going to let that dry a minute. Kind of keep pressing on things. Now, because this is floppy, I'll probably put a dot of glue here just to keep it in place. Did not mean to hit the camera. I like the way this is coming together. This is really cool. I like it. What do you think? I mean, being that, you know, I had other things in mind. You know, I could do other things. But I think, you know, whenever you get to that point where you're like, okay, this looks really good. A few more things, kind of vintage it up a little bit, and it should be good. Let's see. Let me get my ink. Of course, I'm not finding the brown one. Actually, instead of the ink, I think that I want to add this. I called it Inca Gold, but I couldn't find any Inca Gold. So I found Metallic Lustre. And let's see. I had a Alright, so I got some of these when I ordered my my essential oils case. These came as like pop outs from the foam that holds the essential oils, and I kept the foam pieces. Like I said, and I'm not a hoarder, I swear, I'm not a hoarder, but sometimes you just gotta hang on to some stuff. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to see how this does around here. Just kind of give it a different effect than the brown. It definitely is different, and I think I love the look of it. And they make different colors. I believe they had silver, brown. But you gotta have gold in your repertoire, and it's really just a rub-on. Let's see, what do they call this? It is Gold Rush. It's metallic lustre. It's a wax metallic finish. So there you go. It just kind of finishes it off. I'm just going to buff it real good. Now, here's the cool thing. If I have a clean finger, it doesn't come off. Once it is on there, it's on there for good. It's not going to come off. It really is like a finished thing. But it gives that shine. That shine that you can kind of see it. The camera doesn't really do it justice. Come on now. I'm going to add just a dab of it to the clock just to kind of give the, well, I'm not even sure that I can dab it on the clock. The clock is not, okay, so you can't dab it on the clock per se. Oh, yeah, there we go. Some of the numbers are holding on to it. I'm kind of doing this to give it an old effect. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and that it's staying on there, guys. Oh yeah, I like that. And it looks like this jar would last for ages. Now, here's a really cool thought. The butterfly touches time, you know, the little clock, and it starts turning gold. It has that pretty gold wax effect. Look at there. You don't want to do the whole thing. You just want to do like little pieces, kind of give it a little something something. I was kind of nervous about it at first, but I love the effect of the gold as opposed to the just doing everything in that brown pad. I think that this gold will kind of, I'm putting everything going this way except for this piece. So it's kind of like shadow type thing. It's starting to, the sun's coming over this way. It's glimmering. I'm going to see what happens when I edge my paper in the gold. Y'all, I'm loving this effect. It is nice. Okay, my camera died. Went ahead and finished around the edges. Added little stamps of gold in different places. This book page is done. As you can see, it did not take that long, did not add that much stuff. That gold really made a difference around there, and it doesn't come up. It's on there. It's on there for good. So you can seal it though with a sealer if you'd like. So that is it. Alright, I hope you will join me for the next page that I make, and hopefully my camera will be fixed or I'll have a new one by then. Until then, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. See you next time.